How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to MojoGrip. Mike here. Today we're checking out the Cessna 180 backcountry airplane. Stay tuned. When you think of Cessnas, you don't think of backcountry or STOL. You don't even think tail draggers, because Cessna is more popular in the training market or for personal aircraft. And this one actually is also a first for me. This is a 1953 Cessna 180. And guys, this has to be one of the oldest and best looking aircraft that I've ever seen. You can see it's in very pristine condition. You can see also the paintwork on it looks fairly new. From what I know, this airplane was actually put together just recently, and it looks just sweet. It looks beautiful. And if you don't know about the 180, so again, the popular models in the Cessna brands are the Cessna 150, you've got the Cessna 172, and then you've got the Cessna 182. Those are all tricycle landing gears. But you look at this, this is a tail dragger. And so for the tail draggers, you have some 150s and 152s have tail draggers, but more specifically, you have the Cessna 170, and then you have the 180. Those are the tail dragger versions of the 72 and 182. But like I said, this one is it's in such great condition. You can tell this aircraft was restored and it was done very nicely. And before I go in the interior, which is always the exciting part for me, guys, it's so hot out here and it's so sunny, but once you come under the wings, this is one of the great benefits of flying a high wing. You know, you take this plane because you want to go camping, go backcountry flying, and this aircraft will do the job. And speaking of doing the job, the power plant in this is the Continental O 470, I believe. I'm gonna check to make sure of that. So with 230 horsepower in this airplane, it will take off at a decent amount of distance on the runway, and you can also land very short. So all you need less than 1,000 feet of runway to go in and out of any place with this airplane. And you look at it also, two-bladed prop. I can't tell what brand of propeller it's using. It's maybe Hartzell or McCulley is another popular brand with this planes. And when you also think of backcountry and STOL, normally you would see bigger tires, and these are pretty sizable wheels, but the owner did not go with the giant wheels, but these are 850s, and they look pretty good. They look pretty good. You see the struts. Everything looks well put together in this plane. But speaking of well put together, let's get in the interior. You've got your baggage compartment there, and you've got a big door. This is a big, look how wide this door is to get in and out. And it's big because that way you can get into the back seat and also up front. And guys, when I say this thing was restored, I mean, look at the quality of this interior space. Just beautiful. And then you look at the panel also, brought up to speed. This is what it means to keep an airplane intact. You see how neat this airplane is. Very nice yokes on both ends. You've got glass there. So some really good work has been done on this plane. And if we look at the controls here, that two-bladed prop is a constant speed. So you've got your prop lever in the middle, your throttle, and your mixture. And for pilots who normally, when you see all these levers, you have something you push with your entire fist, but a lot of planes, more particularly Cessnas, they have these, which is the push and pull. And I don't think that would take much getting used to. Or what I mean is the transition to go from fists to just pulling in and out it should be fairly easy. So it's not something to be concerned about. You've got your trim down there, some vents up here. And you see again, the cockpit it's all analog for the most part, and you've got some glass over there. I'm not sure what brand. It says Apollo MX-20, so I'm not familiar with that particular brand for this avionics, but if I get more information, I'll definitely look it up and put in the video description. And guys, make sure you do check out the video description, because I will put more stats on it than I talk about. You see the legroom here. Now, one thing I would say about the Cessnas, particularly the 172, the 182 is a much wider plane, and it's hard for me to give you an idea, but you can see how wide this plane is. Also, the seats are fairly narrow, but I imagine that 2 adults can sit up here very comfortably. Your legroom, again, a little bit more narrow, but you've got enough space if you're on the taller side, and you've got your rudder pedals there. Now let's go to the back. So to get in the back, you basically fold the seats down, and I'll do that right now. Okay, look at the back seat. These are very nice. You know, they almost look like kiddie seats, but you can tell they're nicely done. Okay, and I don't know how comfortable or how long somebody will be able to sit back here on a long cross country, which this airplane is very capable of doing. You see all that back there. That's for your backcountry flying. If you want to go camping, just throw a bunch of stuff in there. And speaking of stuff, you know how much useful load this airplane has? Try 1,000 pounds. 1,000 pounds. Fill it up with people, fill it up with load and some fuel. Hopefully you can fill up the tanks, but you've got 1,000 pounds available to you to use. Now, in terms of the legroom in the back, these seats, you can see the structure here. You're able to slide them back and forth, or maybe not. Actually, let's make sure I'm speaking truth to that. I believe you are able to slide this back and forth. So depending on how much stuff you want to put back there, and if you can push, you can also slide this front seat back and forth. So you should have decent, actually you should have more than enough legroom back here. It should be good. But you look at the total quality of this interior space, it's very nicely kept, guys. Very nicely kept. And the owner of this plane actually flies it both for personal use, and they commute with this also for their work. And then again, if they wanted to use it for their personal use, they can actually carry people and go places. This airplane has 4 seats, which you can fit children or adults in the back seat, obviously another passenger up here, and just go up and go flying. In terms of range, another modification that was done to this plane are the fuel tanks. So this airplane has extended fuel tanks, and you can put up to 90 gallons of fuel in the tanks and go further. So you can go 600, 700, even more miles. About 6 hours worth of flying in this bird. Now, depending on how much your bladder can take, you know, you can really go far distance. And in terms of the performance, you're cruising around 140, 150 miles per hour, and you're burning roughly 12 gallons of fuel per hour. Now, one thing I would say about the Cessna brand, and more particularly, let's say the 180. So this 180, you can do so much with it. So say, for example, you didn't want the tail dragger, you can put floats on this thing. You know, these birds are very popular in Alaska, for example. So you can put floats on them, you can fly over water, and you can have it in this configuration and do some really good backcountry flying. As you can see, again, this is a 1953 model, but you can see all of the parts. See, these are LEDs on the wings. A lot of things have been modified and changed about this bird. Even also the engine is modified, and so it serves the owner's needs. Now, price. I'm gonna go back in the interior because it's really hot and the camera will turn off. But let's talk price, guys. If you're looking at one of these, as I said, one thing I love about the Cessna brand is that they tend to hold their value, and that's partly because of demand. So the 172 will hold its value, the 182 as well, and even the 180. And so if you're looking to get into one of these, even as old as this airplane is, as a 1953 model, it'll be hard to find something less than $100,000. So you're looking at 100,000 or more than likely more than that. So you're more in the $120,000-$150,000 range, especially for one that's been fully restored and in great condition as this one. But that's the price. That's what you'll be looking at for these planes. And again, it would highly depend on your mission if this is a right fit. But if you wanted to do backcountry flying, or if you just want a normal economical cruising airplane, a 180 will do that job also. Okay, so I hope you guys enjoy this one. Make sure you check the video description for more stats on this plane. Thank you all so much for watching. Guys, be sure to subscribe to the new channel, MojoGrip Clips. Small and shorter clips of videos will be on there, and some clips or some videos that you don't even see on this channel. So make sure you subscribe. The link for that is below. Also consider becoming an MVP member. Go on to mojogrip.net/MVP and sign up there. Thank you all so much for your support, and I will catch you all on the next video. Peace.